Shut talk, shayat, shayat, shaddy up, shayat, day, shaya, shayat up, shut tie, shaddy up, shut talk.
He is Lord. He is Lord. He is risen from the dead, and He is Lord. Oh, every knee shall bow. Every tongue confess that Jesus Christ is Lord. He is Lord. He is Lord. He is Lord. He has risen from the dead. He is Lord. Every knee shall bow. Every tongue confess that Jesus Christ is Lord. Oh, 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 Jesus Christ is Can't make me doubt Him. Had to realize that I'm nothing without Him. Yeah. Didn't have to do it, but I'm glad He did. Yeah.
You made the lame, I made the blind, you see. On the cross, you bled and died for me. No, I never felt a greater love. I thank God for sending you from above. You have all power in your hand. You destroyed the devil's plan, and you didn't have to do it, but I'm glad you did. So glad you did.
Say what you want. You do what you will. Yeah. But as long as I live, yeah, I'm living for you. Yeah. Yeah. I'm living for you. Everything that I do it for you. Yeah, yeah. Don't mistake my groove. This groove is for you. Owe it all to you. Some people may not believe. I believe in you. I believe in you. I believe in you.
What is going on, y'all? It is your man, D-Toe. You're tuned in to Shop Talk, where literally no person and no subject is off limits. Shout out and a welcome to everyone who's here with us. And as you can see on the screen, we definitely want you to like and follow, as well as share today's stream. This is our last Shop Talk of 2020. This year has gone by so quick, so fast, and oh my, it's already time to get ready for New Year's Eve and all of these great things. But listen, if you haven't figured it out as of yet, let me tell you, you're tuned in to Shop Talk. That's right, Shop Talk, where literally no person and no subject is off limits. Before I bring up any co-hosts, before we go any further, just want to say again, thank you all for an amazing year. All of our listeners, all of our supporters, all the people who have been hitting me up throughout this entire year with support for Freedom Radio. We are super duper excited about it and can't wait to see what happens in 2021. All right, now before we go any further, just want to let you know, if you didn't know, my name is Demetrius Tollfree. Of course, I am your host right here on your radio station, freedomradio.com. Shop Talk, which is Facebook, YouTube's Periscope, only, in my eyes, interactive show where your opinion and your thought matters to us, and we are super glad to have you. Now, before we get going too far, do me a favor. You know what you got to do. Do it for me one more time. Get on the phone, call, text, tweet, Facebook, MySpace, Instagram, Social Cam, Periscope. But tell your mama them, Ray, Shay, Day, Delicious them, Nut them, Pojo them. Let them all know that for the next 2 hours, we are going to take this incredible journey called Shop Talk, and I am super duper glad about it. Give a couple early morning shout outs to some friends hanging out with us already. Shout out to my homegirl, Dee Felder, in the virtual building. Tracy J. Wilson has hit us up already to let us know that she is in the building, and a great friend of ours as well. Haven't seen her in a while, but she's hanging out today. Morgan Van Hook, also in the virtual building. Glad to have you hanging out with us as well. Now, again, Shop Talk is interactive, where your opinions, where your comments count. So if you feel like typing in the chat, definitely do so. We'll do our best to get your comments, your thoughts onto the big screen so that all of us can be able to see and partake of whatever it is that you might have on your mind. Now, again, if you haven't done so as of yet, obviously like Freedom Radio, follow Freedom Radio, as well as share today's stream. Share the stream. I've already done it. And I want to make sure that your friends, your family know exactly what you are watching and what you are tuned into, which is Shop Talk, your favorite show on your favorite network. You already know what it is, children. Yep, it is freedomradio.com, as you can see it going across my girthness. Anyway, listen, we are ready to have a great show, and I am ready to jump into it. Shout out to my guy hanging out with us, and he should have by now his Freedom Radio hoodie. Andrew Brian Caldwell in the virtual building out in Modesto of California. Glad to have you hanging out with us as well. Now, I mentioned the Freedom Radio hoodie. Normally, I would have something on about it, but you know, there you go. There you go, Morgan. See, you got the Ikanache. Yes, you got the Holy Ghost, because I was just about to tell you that you can order your Freedom Radio hoodie as well. Now, I can tell you and go through all the particulars about it, but I have a better idea. Why don't we let Ashlyn Cole tell us how and what's the best way to get your hoodie? Before we bring Ashlyn on, let's hear this important word from our great co-host, Ashlyn Cole.
What's up, everybody? It's your girl, Ashlyn Cole, with some tea you definitely want to hear. The weather has changed, and for most of us, it's freezing. Here's the coolest way to stay warm. We're proud to announce the official Freedom Radio hoodie is now available. It comes in an array of colors with sizes from small to 5X or Saint size, as D-Toll likes to say. To order, simply open the Freedom Radio app in your Apple or Android device and click the FDR Gear icon, or go to freedomradio.com/shop. Again, that's freedomradio.com/shop. Post a selfie on social media and tag us. We thank you in advance for your patronage and can't wait to see you in your new hoodie from your favorite radio station, Freedom Radio. Freedom looks good on you.
That's right. Your action is exactly right. Freedom does look good on you. Now, listen, I've held her off as long as I could. I wanted to give her a chance to get settled in because, as she just mentioned, it is freezing. Let's bring up my homegirl and yours all the way out in El Sobrante of California. She is the host of the show that has gained a lot of popularity and is picking up steam, and you'll be able to view it a little bit later today, 1 o'clock Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern, right here on freedomradio.com. Let's bring up my homegirl and yours. Look like she might be cold too. Ashlyn Tara Cole. Ashlyn, what's going on, child?
It's absolutely freezing.
Yeah, you kind of got it. It's cold.
It's so cold. It's so cold. And look, when I don't do well in the cold, and I think about, when I think about moving to other places, right? I mean, we're in California, like it never rains. All of that, right? We supposed to have the good California sunshine. It was 36 degrees this morning, something like that, at 7 this morning. I'm like, no, it's too cold. Now, I cannot take anything away from our East Coast and Midwest folks that are in the zeros. Okay. Like, I don't even know what that feels like to be in the zeros. So not trying to, I'm not trying to take away from y'all experience, but out here in California, I need my tea.
I feel you. You know what? I'm not mad at you. And I agree with you that,
Hey!
It never rains in Southern California.
Yeah, I agree with you. I thought I'd take you through memory lane real quick. I agree with you. As you look outside, it has not been raining. So you're exactly right. But it is cold. The weather is changing and things are happening around us, and it's all to the good. But I see you ready. You've got a hoodie on. Look like you've got some. Is that coffee that you have in your hand?
No. I kind of gave up coffee.
Really?
When I stopped working at Pete's Coffee, I kind of gave up every now and then. Like, because here's the thing. Now I have to pay full price. So, do I really want to pay $5 for a latte, or do I want to eat? Do I want to have food on my table?
Yeah.
Or do I want to have a latte? So every now and then,
Yeah.
Now if anybody wanted to bless me with a Pete's gift card for the holiday season, I wouldn't be mad at that, because I see you, Dee Dee. I still, patronize.
Patronize. There you go. There you go.
Patronize Pete's Coffee.
Mm-hmm.
I do, and would love for Freedom Radio to definitely, we support Pete's Coffee, and Pete's Coffee supports us.
Whoa! Hold on now. Wait a minute. What?
I mean, that's what I'm saying. It would be nice. It would be nice to have a good old fashioned sponsorship.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, well, if anybody can figure that out, or if anybody can work a miracle behind the scenes in such a thing, that's where you come in, Ashley. That's right up you.
For a miracle. Hey, yes.
Yeah, I feel you. It's all to the good. Listen, I'm glad to have you hanging out with us. As you can see, as the comments are rolling in, people are hanging out with us today. Again, we want to welcome people like Kim Ryan, who is hanging out with us
Hey.
today, as always. She's one of our favorites here, along with Dee Dee Felder. Again, we've already welcomed back our sister, Morgan Van Hook, who's been away for a little while, but is hanging out with us today. Shout out to Sharon Jackson in Modesto, hanging out with us also, and so many more. All right, now this is the last show of the year. So, we've got a lot of things to share, tons of things in the news. But before we do that, I do have another co-host hanging out with us. I think he may be back in the ATL today. I'm not sure. He's world traveled. He's making things happen. As a matter of fact, Ashlyn, for the last couple of weeks, we've been trying out and testing out this whole bingo idea that Demetrius is having, and it's been working out pretty good. I've actually won some money. I actually finally got it. Thank you, Lord Jesus. One of the winnings I got half of, but you know what I'm saying. But I won a couple games. Dee Dee Felder has won some games and stuff like that. We're trying to put together a package. This is where you come in, Ashton. We're trying to figure out the best way to package Demetrius bingo game, because we're going to actually create a side show. We're going to create an actual show, a 30-minute show for Demetrius to do his bingo games right here on Freedom Radio. But we need a great name for it. So if anybody ever thinks up something, it's always you. And so that means to turn on your Ashlyn brain, whatever it is that you do, whatever you do. I don't know. Do you write them down or just hit you in your head? Is that how it
No,
works?
it just hits me in my head. I don't know what that is. The first thing that came to my head was Bingometrius.
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 Not bad. I ain't mad at it. I'm not mad at it. We'll put some thought in. He may have some thoughts as well. A shout out and welcome to the show to Pamela Kelly as well. It's all to the good. And Dee Dee Felder says, yes, she got her coins. It's good. It is great. And I'm glad to be able to participate.
Oh, that was bars.
MC,
Woo! That's
whoa, the room full of women, MC such and such. Anyway,
that was like you would say, Dito. That was something else.
Something else, yes, amazing. Anyway, let's get ready to bring up our co-host. He'll let us know where he's hanging out from today. But my guy and yours, Demetrius Hunter, in the virtual building. Demetrius, man, what is going on? Welcome to the show.
Oh,
hello and good morning. Oh, hey.
I just thought about it. You could call your show and Michi was his name-o. Yep.
What kind of rhyme from farm animals?
No, well, bingo. B-I-N-G-O, B-I-N-G-O, B. But you could say M-E-E-Chi-Chi.
But he was a farmer. Bingo, that song was a farmer. I'm not a farmer.
I know, but it's
Bingo had cows. Oh, well, I do have a lot.
You know what?
Whoa.
Good morning. Yes, hello, everybody, and hallelujah morning to everybody out there in Freedom Radio land. Definitely, we are excited about everything that is forthcoming. As many of you know, I will be celebrating my birthday on the 13th of January, and it will be live. We will also be having a virtual Zoom separate game room going on at the same time. Now, in order to be a part of the game room, you must register. Go to my page. The link is located on the register. And to play for these awesome, wonderful cash prizes, you have to pay. It is a $7 entry fee to join the game. So there will be cash prizes and giveaways in the game room only for those people that are part of the Zoom game room on that day. And there's a lot of great cash prizes up there. Some people are going to walk away with more than $25, $50, or $75. We have a couple $100 prizes as well, cash prizes. So we have some gift cards, and it's going to be an awesome time. But in order to play, you gotta pay.
See, we rolling today. We got bars. Was his name?
Isn't he cute?
Hilarious. Hilarious. Well, you know what? It's definitely going to be a great time. We look forward to that particular day when we can all hang out together. And it's going to be absolutely amazing. Those of you who are hanging out with us today, we are glad to have you hanging out with us. I got a couple of extra things I want to mention, but before I do that, allow me, if you will. Demetrius is talking about his day and his event that's coming up, and I don't want to treat him any less than I would treat anyone else. So let's make sure that everyone knows exactly what he's talking about. Let's bring it up on the screen. And as you can see, Michi's 45th is going to be happening on January the 13th. Now, I don't see a time, Demetrius. What is the time for this event?
8:30 p.m.
8:30 p.m. Eastern. Okay, cool. So that's 5:30 for us here on the West Coast, and obviously everyone else can figure out your time zone from there. So again, Wednesday, January the 13th, 2021 at 8:30 p.m. Eastern, 5:30 p.m. Pacific, right on Demetrius's page. Now he switched up. Now originally he said he was going to do it on the Freedom Radio page, but he's going to do it on his own page, which I think is still a great idea, and it's going to be absolutely amazing. And you definitely want to be a part. Now, yeah,
I see that he didn't put a Pacific time on his flyer.
You've been waiting to say that, huh? you was holding on to that, huh? Right. And I have so many friends that irks them when people say Pacific instead of.
Oh, I'm one of them. It irks me.
Yeah, it's all good. I ain't mad at you, but I see you was. I saw you was holding on, waiting to say that. It's good.
I'll hold my mule.
Did I say it wrong?
No, you good. No, it wasn't you. Shout out to Felder who says that she has already registered, and
yes, she has.
So many more will do that. Now, before we go out to our next guest co-host and artist, let's say good morning and welcome to a name. I don't know if I've seen this name before, but to Shamika Zancanaro. Hopefully I didn't Frenchify your name. Shamika Zancanaro. Hopefully I said it right. Welcome to today's show. We are glad to have you hanging out with us and so many more. Now, we talked about the mere fact that Ashlyn has said it so eloquently that where she is, it's for freezing. Yeah, she has it down. Awesome. She's mentioned that it's cold, but apparently not only is it cold in El Sobrante, but it must be freezing in Hercules as well. Let's find out. Let's bring up our next co-host, Ja'Cory Prothro. Ja'Cory is
It's freezing. You almost didn't get me this morning.
Is that 101 Dalmatians?
This is all of the zoo people wrapped in one. I'm trying to keep warm.
Oh my God. Wow.
It's really cold. And I just got off work an hour ago, so I turned on the heating blanket and
yeah, it won't be long. It won't be long till we might have to catch you next time. But it's all good. We're glad to have you hanging out with us. Shout out and a welcome to Shannon Fitzgerald, who was hanging out with us and watching us on YouTube. Now, as we've done the last couple of weeks, we want to do the same thing today. We want you to be interactive with us. And first thing I want to know is I want you to let us know what city you are watching us from. Now, I'll be able to tell how you're watching when you put your comments in, but we want to know what city are you watching from. So I'll put it on in the chat for myself, and you can start doing it yourself as well. So obviously, you know what I'm saying, Oakland in the virtual building. It's all good. And Yolanda, Mama Yolanda, we're going to have to call it. We have to have a distinction. So Mama Yolanda is hanging out, and she says that she's probably in a room right near you, Ja'Cory, and says that she's watching in Hercules, California. Glad to have her hanging out with us, and it's all good. And then Dee Dee Felder chimes in, and she says that she's straight out of the rich. Okay, thanks, Dee Dee. We appreciate it.
That's what's up.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, and she probably has a shirt that says "Straight Out of the Rich." You know what I'm saying? It's good. Anyway, Shannon Fitzgerald again, who's hanging out with us on YouTube, chimes in and says she's watching us from Hayward, California, United States of America. And a shout out to Pamela Kelly, who says that she's out in Rio Vista. Okay, well, welcome, Pamela, out in Rio Vista, hanging out with us on Facebook. Glad to have you hanging out with us as well.
I think going into 2021, we need to take Dee Dee's catchphrase. You know, I'm straight out of the rich, but I think we need to change that. We're going straight into rich. That's what we need for 2021. We going into the richness.
I ain't mad.
But you know, Richmond is the city of pride and purpose.
It is. Yes, it is.
Really? I didn't know that.
Oh, well, welcome.
There's a sign. There's a whole billboard, a whole structure that has that on it.
Yeah, because that explains the Richmond hustle, because they hustle.
They hustles, they shoot, they kill, they do. You know what I'm saying?
They hustles. Rich people from Richmond be 2-3 jobs and hustle whenever they got to do to make it.
I can bear witness.
Richmond people, they kind of like New Yorkers. New Yorker is a very hustle and moving type of place.
I feel you. I agree. My wife is from Richmond, and when she wants to, she can be a hustler, baby. She can do what she needs to do to make things happen. Shout out to Kim Ryan, who says that she is hanging out with us from Queen City, Charlotte, North Carolina. I'm not mad at it. Listen, Morgan Van Hook hanging out saying that she is from east of Oakland. All right, we're glad to have you hanging out with us. Another name I haven't seen in quite a while, Icy Matthews. Icy, what is going on? Welcome to the show. She's hanging out with us from San Francisco, California. And Dee Felder, she says she's a Rose in Richmond. It's all good. I am not mad at you. Listen, this is the last show of 2020. Obviously, we got a lot of news that we'll share and make things happen. But before we do anything else, why don't we roll straight into our birthdays? Why don't we do that like right now? Why don't we roll into our birthdays? And I know that Ashlyn can't wait to share her birthdays because of people, you know, one of her favorite people on earth had a birthday yesterday. And I know she'll tell us all about it, I'm sure, as she's like, huh? But anyway, let's bring up the birthdays and let's see who we have. And since I'm here, I'll go ahead and get started. And so you know what I got to do? I got to take the time to type in happy birthday, a couple exclamation points. All right, I'm ready to go. So shout out and happy birthday to my namesake and the brother of Casey Pringle, Demetrius Pringle. Happy birthday to Marvin Jackson. Happy birthday to Cottrell Newell. Also, happy birthday to Jonah Melvan. Happy birthday to Terrell Rattler. Happy birthday to James Bryce Sr. Also, happy birthday to a friend of mine, saxophonist extraordinaire, Eldon T. Jones in the Portland, Oregon area. Also, happy birthday to Celeste Bosley. And last but not least for me, happy birthday to a great friend of mine, Larry W. Robinson. All of them are having a birthday today. Jacory, what birthdays might you have today?
Let's see. I got a few on my list. I got Demetrius Pringle, happy birthday. Nakia Fickley, happy birthday. Portia Denise Sumner, happy birthday. Latoya London's birthday is today. Terrell Williams and Marvin Winans Jr. birthday was yesterday. Happy birthday to all of you.
Most definitely. Good stuff. And I forgot to mention also having a birthday yesterday was my good friend as well as my neighbor, Danny Ford. Happy birthday to him. He had a birthday on yesterday as well. All right, Demetrius, what birthdays might you have today?
Yes, I have just a few birthdays. Definitely want to just backpedal real quick on yesterday. The one and only Mary Catherine Cross from Love Center Ministries celebrated her 65th birthday. So I definitely have to give a birthday shout out to Mary Catherine. If you've ever been to Love Center Ministries at any point in time throughout your life, you definitely have met Mary Catherine Cross. So a happy birthday to her. Our birthdays on today. Happy birthday to Day Hughes Holloman. Today is his birthday. Also, Jolanda Harris. Happy birthday to her. Also, I already mentioned Demetrius Pringle. And also Jackie Denise Clark, not the Clark sister. Happy birthday to her. And also Larry Robinson, today is his birthday. And J Truth, the Heart Tracer. Happy birthday to you. Also a birthday shout out way up to the New Jersey to Pastor Dale Cicerone. Today is his birthday. Those have been my birthday and a birthday wish to everyone and anyone that I've missed. And Ashling, what birthdays do you have for us on today?
I'm not sure. Dito threw me off. I don't know what he's talking about the
Really?
birthdays.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Ashland, hold on. When we first started this whole birthday thing with Shop Talk, every week you would say it was somebody's birthday, and it wasn't even their birthday.
Was it Denzel Washington's birthday yesterday?
It was Denzel Washington's birthday.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's Denzel Washington's birthday. Praise God.
Ooh.
Oh, hallelujah. What you looking at?
Carry on, Ashland. Carry on.
Okay, so friends' birthdays today. Rita Cross, Brian Hobbs, of course, you mentioned Demetrius Pringle, Lakiba Pittman, Shireen Crutchfield, Vicky Allen, John McCourt. I miss you, sir. I miss you. He was one of our roadies while I was touring for 10 years, and then it just stopped. So yeah, I miss that. Let's see who else we have. Jonah Melvin, and of course, Larry W. Robinson, you mentioned. Marvin Smith. And yesterday we had Ricky Vincent. Shout out to him. And let's see. Cheryl Monet and Cheryl Aronson. Happy birthday to you. So many birthdays. Lisa Porter. Of course, yesterday was also Danny Ford's birthday, you know, up and coming rising star hip hop artist, Danny Ford. Yes, absolutely. No? Okay. Yeah. All right. Yes. In celebrity birthdays, today is Jude Law's birthday. You may not know him, but I certainly do. I'm not mad at him, his mother, his father, his ancestors. I'm not mad. I'm not mad at them. Today is also Ted Danson's birthday. He is 73 today. Today is also, that's it. John Voight is 82. He is actually, what's her name's dad? What's the Mrs. Me and Mrs. Who was married to Brad Pitt?
Angelina Jolie.
Angelina Jolie, her daddy. It was his birthday today. John Voight is her father. But that's it. So you know how we do here at, was that everybody? Did I miss anybody?
Oh, you good? Go ahead.
Okay. So you know how we do on birthdays. I love birthdays. You know, it's the end of an era. 2020, we're not even going to call it a year. We're going to call it an era. We are embarking on a new year, but a new season. And having today be your birthday gives you an opportunity to resolve this last year in a mighty, mighty way. You can look back over all the things that have been done to you, for you, with you, and you can resolve it. And going into 2021, I just want you to be blessed beyond measure. And so from all of us here at Freedom Radio and Shop Talk, happy birthday.
Most definitely. That's good stuff. And yes, we want to say happy birthday to all of these wonderful people. Shout out to Vanessa Martin hanging out with us today, who also mentioned for you that it was Angelina Jolie's birthday. Thank you, Vanessa, for chiming in. I see you, Delasia, hanging out with us also as well. And Didi Felder is still being good and churchy. I agree. Let's continue to say happy birthday to the Ikanache, Jesus the Christ, who had a birthday just a few days ago, according to the calendar. Listen, we are in the midst of, we're coming to the end of 2020, and we're still in the midst of this pandemic. None of us, I promise you, yes, Ashlyn.
Bingo hunter.
It's the bingo hunter.
I think she needs some sleep.
And guess what we're hunting today? Yeah, okay. I think, hey.
Yeah, Demetrius the bingo hunter.
Mm.
Hey.
put on one of your hats for a photo shoot.
We could do a little song.
Could make that happen.
BINGO.
Uh-huh.
See, you see, great minds think
Yeah,
alike.
I gotta do it. Y'all gotta do the theme song. Of course, there has to be a theme song.
I love it. And Demetrius
For
the Bingo
Michi,
Hunter.
the bingo hunter.
Michi the Bingo Hunter.
Okay.
Michi,
I
the
am-
bingo hunter.
It's the bingo hunter. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not mad. I am not mad.
B54. 47.
I like that. See?
A22.
Why we had Ashley come on so we can make she's always a thinker. She's fast on the draw. And Vanessa Martin, who chimes in and lets us know, thank you for letting us know, Vanessa, that she's hanging out in Baton Rouge. I think that's how they say it, those that live there. Baton Rouge, Louisiana. And she says, happy holidays to everybody. It's all to the good. Didi Feather chimes in. And she says to you, Demetrius, let her do the song for you. It'll be, as Ashlyn said, it'll be something else.
Then it won't be the Bingo Hunter. It'll be the Melody Hunter.
You know
It'll be
what?
the Melody
I'm not going there. I'm not going there.
Ashley, what
I love
type of tea are you drinking today? I need some.
Get it.
Because she is reaching back and pulling them out.
You know what?
Me and you gonna do a duet, Didi. It's gonna be me and you. We've been meaning to put something on wax anyway. So yeah, let's do it.
You know, it's the last show of the year. Demetrius just mentioned that Ashlyn is reaching back and pulling them out. Makes me think of this next story that we're talking about. Well, let me say it like this. 2020, none of us saw this whole thing happening. It started at the end of February, the beginning of March. Here it is, the end of December. We're back. Those of us in California, we're back in shutdown mode.
Yep.
Many things. I mean, you can't even go sit down outside at a restaurant any longer.
Nope.
Things are closing literally everywhere, and it's hard to make ends meet. But in the spirit of reaching back and pulling out, come to find out that the California judge extends an exemption to the strip clubs from the lockdown.
No.
So although things are shutting down and things are being locked up and aren't able to participate, a California judge says that the strip club is essential and they are exempt from having to shut down. Let me just share a bit of this story. I won't share much, but shockingly enough, two San Diego strip clubs can remain open and make their own determinations about providing a safe environment for dancers and patrons during a pandemic. A judge ruled on Wednesday, dealing a setback to Governor Gavin Newsom's health order that calls for such establishments to be shuttered. The scope of San Diego Superior Court judge, the preliminary appeared to be extend far beyond the two clubs that sued the state to potentially all of the thousands of restaurants in San Diego County, the state's second largest county after Los Angeles. Now, this story is pretty lofty. It has quite a bit of information. And if you like, I can share it on the Facebook thread. But it's quite interesting that...
Not really.
You don't think so?
No, I'm saying it's interesting, but we don't need. I would say. I mean, I'm not the station manager, but I would say probably wouldn't want to recirculate that kind of propaganda.
Hey, it's not propaganda. It's real talk. It's in the news. It's going around everywhere, and news is news, and that's what happens here on Chop Talk.
What you looking at?
I'm trying to figure out why you're looking at me like that. She's looking at me like, you know what I'm saying? Like she got something to say, like she's trying to do something to me from out in El Sobrante. Anyway, as I close out this short segment.
I think it's the hair. I think that's what's wrong with me today. I think it's the hair.
I like your hair like that. I think it's amazing.
We need to fix it up a little bit.
Well, let's take a look. Let me see.
Well, she's playing with it like it's a blouse.
You know what? I can't.
You know
There's
what?
a lot of body movement.
Yeah. I knew somebody was gonna come up with a good joke on this. So Morgan Van Hook, I brought that story up for laughter. Morgan Van Hook said she saw the club exemption 2. She says though that they must be owned by the judge.
But my thing is,
Ah.
I'm shocked they haven't went virtual anyway. Chocolate City virtual.
They have virtual. It's already gone virtual.
Oh,
I would not know. Trust me.
How would you know, Mitch? What you done? Is this something you need to repent
I
before
watch.
the coming year?
I watch enough TV. It's a reality show that is circled around the effects of strippers during the pandemic. So I'm like, really? They really did a reality show? There's a whole. So they actually have virtual setup where celebrities are actually going into these rooms and actually paying, and they're actually tipping them through the Cash App, and they actually have to tip a certain amount or they get kicked out the room.
oh,
And-
I'm done. Kim Ryan, I'm done too, because going to the strip clubs became scientific. It became a research project. Oh, we going to the club because we're doing research.
I hear you. And Vanessa Martin says, she chimes in with what Demetrius is saying, that they are starting a show about it, strip rooms.
Mhm.
Incredible.
Yeah, it's one lady out here in Georgia. She actually built a separate basement, and she books. You have to RSVP to come. It's only 20 people. She has a bar built in and everything right here in Georgia, and people reserve and they come there, and she strips for them, and every now and then she'll have one of her stripper friends come and also be a special appearance stripper. Yeah,
I tell you,
and she's making almost 10,000 a week.
I tell you
during
what
a
I
pandemic.
don't know about. I don't know anything about strip clubs. You know why? Because I don't look in. I wouldn't even begin to tell you. I know about Broadway Street in San Francisco, but that's only because I grew up not too far away from there. But wow, okay.
It's funny. What's funny is the only reason I know about them is because when I went to Atlanta, that was like a thing to go to the strip club. I actually went with my mother.
Oh.
I mean, it was just like we want to know what
I'm not gonna say I never been. I've been. It was like a thing to do. Like it was a little after set. I've been to strip clubs before.
It was like, after what's the movie Players Club? It was just like, oh my goodness, we want to see what it's like. And I think sometimes that holds some church people back when they tell you, oh, there's things you should not experience or do. Go experience it so then you can see that it's not for you. Just walk in the door.
It's definitely not for me, because I'm not giving nobody no money. All my hard-earned money. I'm not going to give you my money. I'm not, I'm like I said, I'm trying to make ends meet. And the last thing I'm trying to do after I've tried to make my ends meet, the last thing I'm that's really.
You also have a whole wife.
Oh, most definitely.
You have a whole wife.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's all to the good, and so now I have
shout out to the wife.
No doubt. And I have no reason to hang out at the establishment. That's what
couples, to be honest or not, there's a lot of couples that go to strip clubs.
I've seen it.
Couple.
Yeah,
I did. When I was married. Wow. Am I really about to say this? Okay. While I was married, my husband at the time, that was kind of, he wanted me to experience that. And so I did. And when I found out that it wasn't for him, he discovered that it was for him, and he kept going. And so one of the reasons I'm not married still this day.
Hey, it's not something for me, because one, you can't touch them. Two, I don't want to touch them anyway. They look like they're nasty. You know what I'm saying? As somebody mentioned a little earlier, they use the same pole. And
no, that was one thing that I didn't work for me, because she came over and I was like, please don't get your juices on me.
No, please.
You did not say that. You didn't say that.
No, I don't want no juices nor your berries. Anyway,
because they had a little thing where you punch them with sanitizer. It's an experience to see. That's all I can say.
I see the strip shows I've gone to. It's like a show, like it's a performance. Like they're performing. Yes, it is nudity, of course, but it's like the music. Like it's this one in Vegas. I'm not gonna say her, but I loved her. She gives an amazing show, and you don't touch her, you don't do any of that. It's just an amazing show. She's on the stage. It's just amazing, and I'm just like, wow.
Okay,
it's very wild.
What's our next?
Right. Honestly, I promise you. I wasn't trying to go this far. Anyway, let's get ready to bring up our next co-host, Demetrius.
Yes.
We learn something new every day. Anyway, let's get ready to bring up our next co-host out in the North Kakalaki. Ooh, Jesus. Thank you, Lord.
Wow.
Let's bring up our next
We learn
co-host
about ourselves on Tuesdays.
out in the North Kakalaki, my homegirl and yours, the wonderful, the talented, and the beautiful Yolanda Wild Praise Morant. Let's bring her up. Yolanda, what is going on? Welcome to the show. I know you're probably saying, what have been going on?
Well, good morning, beautiful people. I'm sorry I'm tardy to the party, but I want to tell why I'm tardy to the party. But first of all, I'm team no makeup. But what is going on up in these freedom streets? What are y'all? What strip clubs and dollars and liquids and what is going on?
We were just saying some of us have been down in the valley where, you know,
P Valley.
You don't been to the P. Some of us had a P Valley experience.
Jamar Esau chimes in and says, "Y'all are family forever." Yeah. Hey, Shop Talk is where literally no person and no subject is off limits. It's all to the good. Anyway, but Yolanda, we welcome you to the show. We welcome you to the show.
He said P Valley. So I want to be caution. Okay, I love Jesus with every fiber of my being, every single last ounce. But yeah, I am a creative. I mean, I don't know if I want to blame it on that part. So I watched the Love and Hip Hop Kids, and I watched the P Valley Kids. P Valley.
When is it coming back on?
P Valley was on Stars. What do you say about P Valley though? Because y'all talking about people say P Valley was a series on Stars, but actually the storyline of P Valley is extremely incredible. But it talks about the back scenes of what I mean. It's not real. I think it's like
I gotta.
It talks about the back scenes of stripper life, and
you're gonna get hooked.
Watch it. Yes, I know people like, is she saved? I'm saved. I love Jesus, absolutely 100%. But I watch movies, I watch TV every day. That's how I get a lot of ideas. So P Valley is actually very amazing. The storyline behind P Valley is like unbelievably incredible. Now your teenagers should not watch it, but
this is about
really,
strippers.
Really
this is about strippers. Oh no, I won't be watching this. But thank you so much for
sharing.
sharing.
It's really good.
But it's really good. It's not necessarily just people stripping. It's more about, it kind of gives you an insight of the life and why these girls do what they do. It's not a documentary. It's like it's like a show. But it's not reality. It's not like reality TV. But it's very P Valley.
They have church.
Yeah.
They have church segments.
Miss Shannon, the storyline is so well written. But that's why I was like, I mean, what's going on here? It's strippers.
Yeah, most definitely. I haven't seen it, but I'm always down for a good storyline. Thus, the reason why I watch Love and Hip Hop and all these Housewives of Atlanta and Potomac and all this other stuff that makes me laugh and hee ha ha. That I sit and watch with my wife. So these are things that we watch. Now, I don't know if we're gonna watch a story about
it's not like that. It's kind of like the new Players Club. I know a lot of us, if that came on BET and it came on TV, we would totally stop. So it's just a new version of Players Club. But the church is at the strip club. I just need somebody to wake up.
Okay, it's all good. Hey, I'm not mad at them. Do what you got to do to be successful and keep things going. And here's Dee Dee Felder as we get ready to close this out. She says,
well,
and we know that there is only one Dee Dee Felder, and she wants to keep it real and just let us know that understand. So and there you have it. And there you have it. Shout out to Kim Ryan, who says that she loves her Shop Talk. I'm not mad at it. And again, we appreciate you hanging out with us. Whew, wow. Anyway, I tell you what, let's take a turn.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, thank you, Jesus.
Yes, you're welcome.
Oh, hallelujah.
Let's-
Thank you.
Let's take a turn and let's take a quick rundown on through Tech Talk just for 1 second before we jump into something else that is kind of Tech Talk that we want to talk about as well. So a couple things that we want to talk about. I want to ask any of you, Ashley, I really want to ask you because I know that you've been doing your thing. Have you had a chance to experience Apple Fitness Plus yet?
I have not.
Well, I know you've been doing your thing. I've been, keeping up with you on my watch. So I know you've been working out and running and doing different things.
I haven't actually experienced anybody's fitness app as of late.
Okay. And to that, I will say, okay. Well, I'm starting on Saturday with Apple Fitness Plus.
Praise
And
God.
what you say, what is it?
No, I said praise God. Praise
Yeah,
God.
yeah. I'm starting on Saturday. I'm not gonna say it's gonna be on the first, and I'm not a person that really does New Year's resolutions because I could change my mind from the first to the second. So what I thought I was gonna resolve on the first can be a whole different situation on the third. So I'm not a big New Year's resolution. I just need to be able to change. I just need to be able to shift, and see how I fit today. Anyway, Apple Fitness Plus is out. It's available. Everybody can experience it for at least a month for free. Or if you've purchased a new watch over the last few months, you can get it for 3 months for free to test it out. Plenty of great workouts in there. If you have a bike at home, if you have a treadmill at home, or if you have some weights or anything like that at home, you might want to participate in this. Again, it is a great, great thing. I believe that Didi Felder may have chimed in and got it as of yet. I'm not sure, but it's something great. It's something that you can do with your friends. You can do it alone. You can challenge other people to do it and stuff like that. I think it's great. I know as we get to the beginning of the year, everybody's going to want to be saying that they're trying to be healthy, and I get it. We all start out with those aspirations at the beginning of the year, and hopefully, people can continue on with that. I'm going to say, as I said, I'm starting on the 2nd on Saturday. And I'm going to test it out and just see if I can keep up. And they have different levels. They have beginning levels, they have intermediate, they have advanced levels, and they have different teachers in each option. Those of you who are Apple users, now you do have to have an Apple Watch to be able to participate in that. But it is definitely something. If you're trying to get on the health kick, if you're trying to try some different things in terms of workouts and things of that nature, check out Apple Fitness Plus. Again, you can try it out for free for a month. And let us know what you think. All right. Now, as we continue on with Tech Talk, we're going to go down a different road. We talked about it briefly last week, but now that we have all of our great co-hosts with us today, I want to revisit it again today. And that is this new phenomenon. It's kind of new for some of us and not as so new for others, but this new phenomenon, this thing that is kind of taking over for all these iPhone users. And Yolanda, we wanted to wait for you to get on just to make sure that you were a part of this conversation as we get ready to talk about this new thing called Clubhouse. Clubhouse is at the present moment, an iPhone-only app. It's a social media podcasting type thing where people can come in and have different conversations about different topics. I was on a panel last night with Yolanda, and I've seen Ashton and Jacory on different panels with big time people making things happen. I want to kind of go around the room and get your opinions, what your thoughts are, and how we can, at some point, do a freedom panel or a freedom event through Clubhouse. So Ashton, I'll start with you. Kind of tell us what your thoughts are about the app and what you've gained and what's going on with you.
So I've absolutely thoroughly enjoyed Clubhouse. It was mentioned to me several times before, and I was just like, I don't need another platform. I really was not interested in another social media outlet because I already find it tough to manage the few that I already have now, just keeping on top of it. But Clubhouse is very different. It's very different. Here's what I love. I love that you can go into rooms. So basically they have different rooms, and then you can be invited up what they call on stage, or be invited up as a speaker. You can raise your hand, similar to Zoom in a sense where you can be you have people that are facilitators, and you could raise your hand and ask a question. But what I'm finding is that there are people that would, under normal circumstances, never be in a room together having a conversation. A great example was last night. I mean, just last night, I saw that Judy McAllister was hosting a room, and let's see. So it was Judy McAllister with C. Ivan Johnson and DeGeorge Hines, right? And so these are three people that, you know, that I follow and that I know. And so I was like, okay, let me check out what this is. Well, it turned out it was Judy McAllister's very first time hosting a room, and C. Ivan Johnson was co-hosting or moderating, they call it. But then there were a lot of other people that came in, including David Daughtry, and then also including Dr. Juanita Bynum. And so I was invited up to speak, which was awesome. And so I shared, and then Jacory can tell you about his experience. But like in this particular instance, when would I find myself in a room with C. Ivan Johnson and Judy McAllister and Juanita Bynum? Probably, maybe not, never. And so the fact that I, you know, me personally, I've had the exposure on Sunday Best. What I'm finding is I will go into rooms and people will recognize who I am and then invite me up to speak. And I a lot of times I don't know half the people, but it's been so amazing to have this key to open these rooms and have these amazing conversations.
Definitely. I love it.
You can sit and listen to, you don't have to participate, but there's panels, there's educational panels, there's comedy panels, there's foolishness panels. You must know that as well before you sign up for Clubhouse. There is plenty of foolishness that happens on Clubhouse.
Yeah.
And so there has to be a maturing because you will get distracted and you can get addicted to it, and you can get in there for 7-8 hours. I was in a room for 4 straight hours one time.
Wow.
And it was just
Wow.
like, wow.
Well, so here's one thing that is a great question that Vanessa Martin poses. She says, how long do you have to wait to get started? She says she's been waiting for about 2 weeks. Now, I will say this, and Ashton, you might be able to kind of further let us know how this works. But so after you download the app, you create your profile, you go into, Vanessa, somewhat of a waiting process to where someone has to approve you, someone that knows you, someone that you're on their phone list. Right. And it'll recognize you that you're someone that's waiting, and then they have to be able to approve you and allow you in. So it's pretty much invite only. And so you having been waiting 2 weeks means that either someone is out of invites or someone hasn't recognized you from their phone list as of yet. Maybe someone from your phone list isn't in there that can allow you. I could be wrong, but I think that's kind of the gist of it. Now, Jacory, Ashton just mentioned you, and I'm coming to you, Demetrius and Yolanda. But Jacory, Ashton just mentioned you, the mere fact that you was part of some rooms and different things have been happening for you. Kind of tell us what your experience has been, and we're gonna figure out how to make something happen from a Freedom Radio standpoint with this as well. But Jacory, kind of tell us what's been going on with you with that.
Well, for me, it's been a very powerful tool of conversation. Especially being a creative, you know how sometimes you're creative and you have questions and you're like, you'll never think they'll get answered. Yesterday, I got pinged in from a friend to a room, and I was just listening while getting my Wingstop in line, and to hear Chief Worshiper Judith McAllister call me up 3 levels to the platform and say that she's been watching my YouTube clips and then ask me to speak. I was floored. I mean, I've been a fan. I hate to use the word fan in gospel music, but it's the truth. I've been a fan of hers since the beginning. So to hear her say that she's watching my clips, it just blessed my entire life and soul. And then, we've had Fred Jerkins listen to our music. It's crazy. I had to bring Yolanda on. It's the missing link for a lot of the creatives.
Definitely. Yeah, I will say, now I have jumped in and out of rooms, and I haven't, as Ashton said, been in a room for that long, 3 or 4 hours, but I have gained some some new friends. I've also been reacquainted with people that I knew of and they knew of me. And now, we're starting to build relationships and stuff like that. It's been a great experience. Demetrius, I know that I haven't seen you on there as much. And I know you mentioned another platform, and we'll get a chance to talk about that as well. But are you thinking about getting into this whole Clubhouse thing at all? Or are you beyond that?
No, actually, I had tried Clubhouse before. I had just signed up because everyone was talking about it. I just looked in and I put a thing. I don't know if what even happened after that. I got two phones, so I don't be paying attention to one more than the other. So I don't know. I haven't really got into Clubhouse, really just sitting there listening and getting all the different things. I know it's more like a lot of the rooms. I'm more of a Bigo Live person. So, and I like Bigo Live because, after so long, you can start making money. I'm all about, investing my time now.
Most definitely.
Is what I'm saying. Making sure my time being invested is recurring some type of income, being around. And I think during this pandemic and the jobs that God has placed me in has allowed my mind to open up and see things like, wow, like we have this available. So, it's people literally just sitting there right now doing what we're doing, getting paid just to do what we're doing, sit on a live and talk and aren't even really having a conversation about anything.
Mm-hmm.
My friend, he's a high paid person on Bigo Live. He'll hit me up, hey man, jump on. And we'll just all be on there talking about what we did for the weekend because he has to put in 30 hours a month. So like I'm more turning my time into money.
I'm not mad at you at all. Again, as Ashley mentioned, it's not everything isn't for everybody. None of us, just like you, Ashley, I wasn't looking for another social media platform. I'm still trying to, get my Instagram numbers up and all this other kind of stuff. So, I wasn't really in search of another platform, but I have seen where it can be beneficial, especially if you're trying to expand yourself. Ashley has mentioned that, she's now didn't know that she had other people who were familiar with her based on Sunday Best or whatever. And, it's expanding her reach. So, it's been great so far. Again, I have not had a chance to sit in rooms for long lengths of time because, I got kids and a wife and a grandbaby that also need my time and attention. But Yolanda, I know that you've been on there. And again, you and I were on a platform in a room last night together. And but more than that, kind of tell me what your experience has been. And then we got to figure a way to get Vanessa Martin in to the room. So Vanessa, we're going to figure out how we can get you in today. But go right ahead, Yolanda.
Well, let me say this. First, let me say shout out to Pastor Mickey King. She's a pastor in St. Louis, Missouri. And she actually inboxed me probably about 2 weeks ago. And she said, have you heard? I kept hearing about Clubhouse in different spaces and you had to have an invite and this and that. And she inboxed me and she said, are you on Clubhouse? You need to be, this is your tribe. This is your kind of people. You need to be there. And at first I was kind of like resisting because I said, I prefer live conversation. I prefer to see people moving. And I prefer to see body language and things like that. But Jacory sent me an invite. And the Bible says all things in moderation. Honey, I was hooked.
Honey.
After like an hour. I was like, whoa. Because for me, I love body language. I love to see people's faces and all that kind of stuff, especially now during the pandemic, right? So, but what I saw was it gave me a little bit. What I learned is I'm actually not an introvert. I may be like 10%. I love people and I love being around people and I love to see people and I love to see the babies and hugging the babies and kissing the grandmas. Like I love all of that. That's why I like church so much because I love to see the people. But what it gave for me was that part that I felt was missing for the time being. So I'm in these rooms and people like, yo, Yolanda, this and this and this and that. And more than people call my name. The favorite part is being in spaces. I keep saying I want to grow and I want to expand. And so if you say that, that's what you're going to attract.
That's right.
So that's what I'm attracting. and I'm attracting people who want to grow. And not only that, I really want to help people. So in some of these rooms, like we were in a room, me and Demetrius last night, and there was a lady talking about, I can't remember what she offered, but I think it was like investing in financial services, something to that manner. But her Instagram was private. And I said, just to help you real fast. People can't support what they don't know about.
That's right.
Unblock your Instagram. And she's like, I'm really private. I have my own personal feelings about being private on social media. I feel like it's social media. We only know what you tell us.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
We don't know any more than that, right? So before we got off that thing, she unlocked her Instagram, and you can just be missing out on money and time. So I have, like Ashley, I was in a room. There was a room that ran starting on Christmas Day at about 7:00 in the morning. Now, I don't mind being with kids, but my God, the room was 24 hours, literally. The moderator had not went to sleep.
He's
now, I
still
wasn't
going.
in the room. He's still going.
I was on last night. I'd be up till 7 a.m. working. But the thing is, the wave of the call is what it is for me, because they go into testimonials. Jesus comes in, and I'm not talking about a church room. I'm talking about these people that are R&B celebrities and rappers, and they're going through to where it's good to see that somebody is going through. You're not the only one.
That's right.
That's
so good.
You got them to where they throw up their cash apps and they're blessing people with thousands of dollars.
Oh, yeah. So I want to tell you about two things. And give Demetrius his radio show back. I was in this room. They started the room at 7. As Jacory said, the room, I don't think it's ever ended. So I think they're taking shifts on the moderators and stuff like that. People have been waiting 7 hours to shoot their shot, to give their pitch. And so on one side I saw, I'm just being honest, if you're watching, some people were really like, I've been waiting 7 hours. But I was like, y'all don't understand. This is easy. You set your phone right here and you work, or you do whatever you do. But back in the day, what I understand, you had to wait 7 hours to maybe audition.
Right.
And then they came outside and said, we're done for the day. And then you had to try again. So I think that this makes it, it brings people kind of closer together. The other part I saw, Jacory, I was in a room where they gave away $3,500. And I thought about y'all, they literally gave away like 6 stimulus checks. And the guy said, we can do this ourselves. Between each other, we can help each other. One girl called, she said, you have no idea how much I needed this money. My family has been living in a hotel. It was I'm hooked, but I do agree with Ashlyn. You do have to do it in moderation. You should be very, 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 very careful about the spaces and places you go into. Be careful about the rooms you go into. Be careful about the conversations you're having. While the conversations are not recorded, you don't always know who are in those rooms. So just be careful about the information you share.
Yeah, that's good. And I was going to add that I think the reason that I like it so much is that sometimes with our visual social media, there can be antics, right? So we can distract with the visuals. What I love about Clubhouse is, you need to actually put a thought together. You actually need to put your thoughts and your words together in a way that everybody can understand. And I think that because, I remember weeks ago, you all had asked me, what we were talking about love and relationships and all that stuff. And I said, I want to fall in love with somebody's brain, their mind, their thoughts, their intellect. I want to fall in love with their intellect. And so I love that about Clubhouse. It's like you get in these rooms and I'm like, wow, we're having deep conversations about real life stuff. And you don't have to worry about putting on makeup. You don't have to worry about how somebody looks. It just doesn't matter. There's no antics. It's really your voice. You are carrying the conversation with your voice and your voice alone.
Definitely. Now, as we're talking about this and we're getting ready to close this out, I found out by trial and error, and maybe you guys have seen this too, that you can approve people that you didn't invite. You can now approve people that you didn't invite, and it doesn't go against your invitation thing. So I know we mentioned Vanessa Martin. Vanessa Martin is trying to get in. Obviously,
I looked for her. So she's not part of my so it has to be somebody that's in your contact phone, in your phone. So what I would suggest, Vanessa, is that you look around, reach out to the community of your people, right? Whoever your contacts are, find out if who's on Clubhouse, and then they can actually approve you, just like Dito said, without using what we'll call a voucher, right? So you have a limited amount of invitations that you get. When you first sign up, you get one, and then depending on your status and how long you're on and blah blah blah, they give you more. But Vanessa, anybody that's in your phone that's on Clubhouse can approve you, and it won't go against their count. So that would be my suggestion.
Most definitely, good stuff. Well, again, we're talking about potentially doing a Freedom Radio chat on Clubhouse. Not sure when we're going to do it, but I know many of us are now on it. And by the time we start getting great people like these wonderful co-hosts on a panel, you never know who may come in the room and may have something great to say, and you never know who you might meet. So we'll keep you posted. We'll make that happen. And Vanessa says to you, Ashlyn, she says, thank you. And Vanessa, please do that. And we look forward to seeing you on Clubhouse, and make sure that you follow each and every one of us. And last question for you in particular, Ashlyn, I want to ask you this question, and maybe you can shed some light on it. I've seen a lot of people, as we close out this Clubhouse portion, I've seen a lot of people, some people have a bio in there, some people don't. From your experience, how important is it to have a great bio inside of Clubhouse?
Extremely important. It's extremely important, because what's happening is people are looking at your bio for all kinds of things. They want to support you. Like, I'm finding that everybody wants to support you. That I have not come across one person that's like, trying to cut anybody down. Everybody's building each other up. And so the bio is the way to attract people into what you do and who you are. And you could be super creative with your bio. If you're on Clubhouse, you can go look at my bio. Now, the way that I pieced mine together is that I went and looked at other people's bios, and I followed their pattern. So using certain emojis, using certain language, you could put quotes in there, but definitely you want to have a strong bio. You can even go on apps like Fiverr, and you can pay somebody to build you a bio. Me personally, I think anybody can build a good bio as long as you have the structure, because you know you better than anybody else, right? So you would know what to put in there. But you can use my bio as an example. And also definitely link your Instagram. Instagram. Some people put their Twitter on there, and that's fine, but you must really, because I'm telling you, when you go into these rooms, these moderators, and these are very influential people that can really get you to where you want to go. They're click the whole time. They're tapping on your picture. They want to see your bio. They go to your Instagram, and it's follow. And it happens in a matter of like 10 seconds. Currently, right now, there's a room happening that's called Follow for Follow. That means you follow me, I'll follow you. They're trying to get everybody to 20,000 Instagram followers. And that's a room that's happening right now. And I've seen it happen. It's just a matter of, there's 200, 300 people in the room. Now you just get 300 more followers. They tell two friends, and you just never know. And I've also found that because of my bio, when I'm in a room, somebody will say, oh, I see that you're a vocal coach. I've already gained 2 students out of Clubhouse, and not advertising. It didn't cost me a thing, but just the fact that I was in a room, I shared what I did, and somebody was like, oh, I need a vocal coach. And they reached out to me, and boom, bam. So it's amazing, but you definitely want to have a good bio.
I agree, Ashley. You're exactly right. I see your hand, Yolanda. You're exactly right. I like you, looked at some other people's bios, took some ideas. My bio opens with a quote. My location is in there. I've got other little emojis that lead into different things that I do personally as well. And yes, my Twitter and my Instagram is in there, and you can follow me as well. Those of you who are watching, as I always do, when one of our persons speak, I put up their Instagram, so mine is on there as well. Thanks to Yolanda. She told me that all of my social media should match. So I'm at Dito Free on everything, from Twitter to Instagram to everything, Cash App, Venmo. I'm Dito Free on everything, so that you can't miss out an option on me as well. But Yolanda, you want to say something? Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, so two things I want to point out that I've been seeing a lot. You can bring me screen, everybody else. Team Freedom. Okay. It's something I've been seeing a whole lot. It's because I don't like to be singled out. Okay.
Yeah,
Something I've been seeing a lot. So something I thought about. Me, Jacory had said this room, right? So this current room that we were talking about, there's 600 people in this room right now. What I learned a trick, if you want an opportunity to shoot your shot, or you want an opportunity to present what you do, go into a smaller room first. Go into a smaller room. Less people. Even though you think, what always looks big is not that big. So even though you come into this big room and there's all these people in there, I'm not saying they're not going to follow you. I'm not saying the opportunity may not happen, but I went into a smaller room and I ended up connecting with a lot of cool, amazing people.
Yeah.
And sometimes people don't always tell everything they've done. So if you want to make a pitch, get into a smaller room first. You'll wait much less and you'll end up having conversations connecting with cool people. Second thing, clean up your Instagram, right? It's like, so some Instagrams I've seen, it's like just major clutter. And so I'm not saying you shouldn't post about your kids, your husband, your baby wife. I'm saying make sure that when people see your Instagram, when they come to your Facebook, when they come to your Twitter, it is a clear indication of what you do. If you lay carpet, we need to know clearly in your bio what you do within the first couple of photos, what you do, because people will lose interest and you can easily lose business or connections because it's just too much clutter.
Honestly, you shouldn't run your business and like if you have to, like I love what Ashlyn, how she has Blessed Bees is a whole separate page. And then you have Ashlyn Cole, the brand, the singer. So you're getting her life plus her brand, her side job that she has as well with the bracelets. So I love how she's separated the two, so it's not a lot going on in one thing. Because I may only be coming to Ashlyn looking for the beads, and I'm scrolling through. I'm like, okay, where is it at? And after, some people, like you say, like will lose interest if there's just not what they're looking to you for. So always find a distinction in separating, and then making sure that your page, as she has said, is definitely in a flow, and making sure that it's clean. Making sure that everything kind of tells a story. Let your Instagram tell the story of what it is that you are telling, what it is that you are talking about. So it should all flow in consistency. And I've learned this because there are companies and corporations now actually have social media teams that are running these Instagram pages and how Instagram should be set up, and how Instagram should look, and how you should post and when you should post and things like that. I know with my last company, I was with the social media manager. She was like, you have a great thing with Instagram. You need to do this, and put some bright photos here, and then let your dark photos align in the middle. It's all about alignment and presentation when it comes to Instagram that makes it pop out, and making sure that people notice your page and are interested in seeing what's next on your page and know where to find you and are looking to find you.
Most definitely. That's good stuff. And Ashlyn has already posted a link. Thank you, Ashlyn. She posted a link directly to be able to download the app. I've seen Stacey Williams asking question marks about Clubhouse. It is a newer platform. And as Ashlyn also mentioned in the chat, it is right now only for iPhone users. And I'm so grateful for all of you iPhone users that keep me with a job. Thank you so very much. All these thousands and thousands of iPhone users that are in this particular app. It's actually great. Again, you can get caught up, but do your best. Take some advice from Ashlyn, Jacory, as well as Yolanda, and you will find some success. All right, here's what we're going to do. We're going to take a quick commercial break. We're going to hear from Pancho Romero, and when we come back in just a few seconds, we're going to do One Has to Go. Hopefully, I can populate this on the screen correctly to where everyone can see, but let's hear a quick word from Pancho Romero. Keisha J, take a listen at this.
Hey everybody, it's your boy James Pancho Romero, and
it's your girl Keisha J.
And we're from the Music Mix here on freedomradio.com. And you know what? We got a lot going on the Music Mix.
Yes, a lot going on the Music Mix.
And so when we talk about community, we talk about news, we talk about good music.
Yes.
And artistry from all over the country, right?
Yes. And you don't want to miss it. So check us out every Thursday and Saturday at 12 p.m. And if you're on the East Coast, tune in at 3 p.m.
And you know what? We would love to have you there. And, but Keish, you know what? What if they want to hit us on social media? How do they hit us?
Go to Facebook and follow us at The Music Mix, or hit us up on Instagram at the.music.mix.
Hey, you know what? We would love to have you here. Come on down and spend some time with us at the Music Mix. And I think you have a good time. And remember, you can always catch us on freedomradio.com, where we're always bringing you the best in gospel music.
Awesome stuff. Thank you, Pancho and Keisha J, for that great commercial. We're looking forward for some more great commercials to make things happen. And thank you to Yolanda Morant. She just put some information on here. She says that if you need help with your social media or social media content, she says to contact her directly. You can hit her up at design at wildpraise.net, or you can inbox her right here on Facebook. Thank you, Yolanda, for making yourself available for all these great people. All right, y'all, let's get ready to do our One Has to Go. The picture is kind of small in terms of pixels, and I learned a lot about pixels last night in a particular room on Clubhouse. But anyway, I do have a One Has to Go I want to bring up on the screen, and it's about a food item and how you best like it. Again, it's about a food item and how you best like it. Let's see if I can get this on the screen, and let's see if I can make sense of it. It goes a little bit like this. It's talking about chicken. It's talking about chicken and how do you like your chicken? No pun intended, I promise you. Do you like your chicken wet, grilled, dry, or crispy? How do you like your chicken? So do you like your chicken? And they look like they're doing chicken wings in particular. I'm not a big chicken wing eater, but how do you like your wangs? Do you like them wet, as in, hot wings? Do you like them grilled? Do you like them with a dry feel or taste, or a dry rub? Or do you just rather like them fried crispy? Let's find out from these wonderful co-hosts, as well as you who are tuned in and listening. Type in the chat how you like your chicken as well. Ashlyn, I know that you don't eat chicken as much unless it's cooked or fried by Yolanda Prothro, and I'm not mad at it. But tell me, how do you like your chicken?
Honestly, all of the ways except wet.
Okay.
Here's the reason. I have to have if and Mama Prothro, if you're listening, this is the week. This is the week to go ahead and fry some chicken. Now, I make some really good fried chicken myself. Jacory has had it. I don't know if he would co-sign it publicly on the radio, but I think my fried chicken is really good. But I don't like it when the chicken is not fully cooked. Like I need it to be. Yeah. I need it to have that tacky texture. That's like, even when you cook the chicken and then you let it settle for a while, you take it out of the grease or out of the oven or whatever. You allow it to settle, and then it gets that kind of. I don't know how else to describe it. Detail, you're shaking your head, so I think you know what I'm talking about. But that almost tacky, jerky, like the outside edge is just like, oh, because if it's chewy, if the skin or the gristle or no, I will barf. I will barf. I'm not trying to, but grilled chicken, I love if it's done on a fire, because it gets those little, it gets really cooked. The skin gets really cooked. Dry, crispy, all of it. It doesn't matter. Just cook it, please.
I got you. So now everyone who is listening, I see different people chiming in. We want to say, we're asking you which one has to go. Of these 4 options, which one for you would have to go? So Ashlyn, you're saying wet would have to go for you.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I got you. It's all to the good. All right. So Emetrius, looking at this list, which one for you has to go? Maybe he's not listening to us. Maybe.
No, I'm sorry. I was having an Ashley moment over here. My phone, I kid y'all not, my phone, I don't know what happened. My phone just started playing Ashley's song. God will do exceedingly. I know we're talking about chicken, but my song was on and I just got lost. I'm so sorry, y'all.
I feel you.
I will take my chicken grilled. Okay, right now I'm on my trying to, get rid of some of this pandemic thickness. Yes. Hashtag pandemic thickness. You're not big, you're not fat, you're pandemically thick. Amen.
I hear you.
I've been, I'm now retching towards the grill. But now, however, hallelujah. Hallelujah. I love a crisp every now and then. Hallelujah. A little crisp definitely will bless your soul, especially if it's crisp the right way. Now, I do know those Allegra Topher and her wonderful staff over there at the Glad Tidings Church of God in Christ. It's a wonderful fried, crisp, glorified chicken plate. That will bless your soul. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. I had a flashback.
Yeah. Allegra can make a chicken. She does.
Oh my God, yes, she can.
Yeah, she has a trick to it. It's all good. All right, Jory, which one of these of the four would have to go for you?
I'm gonna have to say the wet is gonna have to go because I'm a little different. I do like my chicken to be baptized twice.
That's good. That's good.
But I like to dip my chicken, so it got to be crispy, and it can't because wet chicken to me is like soggy chicken. I need to dunk my.
Well, then that would be the threefold
after it's crisp.
Name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy. See, you missed the connection. It came to you double dipped. You was the third dip.
A baptized.
You was the third dipping, to bless the chicken. See. Come on, Jacoy, you put about a message up in me over here.
That wet,
my God.
a wet chicken has to go though. I ain't doing it. And my grill, I can't have no grilled wings. It's got to be like
really.
I don't know. That just ain't right.
So good. Especially if somebody really has marinated them
overnight.
Like you took the time out to really soak them, marinate them. You know what I mean? And then they get on there. They're nice and brown and crispy. You put them on a fire, an open fire. Come on. That little hickory smoke on them. Jesus.
Okay, Ashley, you sound like you can cook a wing.
Somebody get her a grilled wing.
Oh, jeez. Okay. I'm ready to go get me some wings right now.
Well, sis, it sounds like you can cook some wings. The way you just put that ingredient, lay that ingredients out right there. I got hungry over here. I'm about ready to pull up on your house and see if you got a wing in the refrigerator or something.
It ain't.
You get a wing and a prayer. That's all you get is a wing and a prayer right now.
Hilarious. Okay, well, that leaves you, Yolanda. If you're looking at this particular list, which one would have to go for you? You're muted. I said that on purpose.
I promise you I know how to work technology. Okay. So no one knows I grew up in Denver, Colorado. So there's just a tinge of Valley girl in me. So what are wet wings?
What are wet wings?
Like
buffalo
wings and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Jerk chicken.
With sauce.
Oh, that comes. Oh,
like jerk chicken.
Okay.
But they got sauce on. They pour the sauce over the top of the chicken wings, and then they serve it to you.
You sure you never want to live in New York? As it's like, you know what I'm saying?
They got wet wings in Denver. I don't been to Denver. Denver got a hood now. Hold up, now. I've been to Denver. Denver got a hood. Denver got a hood.
That's not real hood.
I ain't always.
Yeah, it is wet. So my one has to go. It'll be wet. It just don't sound right. Maybe if it's given another term. I just don't like the wet part. But actually dry wings would have to go.
Okay, cool. Dry wings would go for you. I got it.
Wings are like so phenomenal, and they're healthy. I go, they're healthier.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not mad at you. All right. Well, we've got our answers. If it were me, now I'm not much of a wing person, and Allegra chimes in and she says for her wet can go, and Andrew says no soggy chicken. I get it. Ty McClain says crispy would have to go for her.
She crazy.
Wow,
Denise Sexton Dew says wet can go for her. Tracy J. Wilson further chimes in and says it's wet like the ones at Wingstop. Yes, that is what we're making reference to. Those type of wings. If it were me, now I don't really eat chicken like that. I'm not really a chicken wing person like that. But dry could go for me. I'm not really a dry person. I do like them wet. I like them grilled for healthy purposes, and of course, I like them crispy. But it's all to the good. Ashley.
Now, I will say that when I used to go to Wingstop, those lemon pepper wings.
Ooh, what I had last night. Yeesh,
Now that would be considered a dry wing, I believe.
But you gotta have some sauce.
Yes. But those are amazing.
Yes, they are. Ash.
Lemon
And they're
pepper.
still amazing.
Jesus. I mean, amazing. Whoa. The thing I don't like about Wingstop is that I don't think they're chickens. I really think that they're pigeons.
What? Them wings be big. They be too
because
big.
They're so small. Do you ever see the little micro wings? I'm like, how many baby animals have to die for this little bitty?
Well, I think the meat on the chicken has changed, period.
Hold on. What Wingstop y'all be going to? Because the one out here in New York, they wings be kind of nice, a nice sized wing. They don't be small.
That's a little buffalo.
Little baby wings.
Buffalo.
Little baby wings. Yeah.
Well, I tell you what, we do have people chiming in, and Ashton, don't make me stop going to Wingstop. What do you think they are again? You think they're
pigeon?
She gonna make
pigeon wings.
Stop. Azizi Law just said you made her spit her coffee out talking about pigeon. You know what I'm saying?
Wait, so are those the lemon pepper ones are dry wings? Those would
be considered dry wings because they're cooked.
Oh, really?
And then they're tossed in seasoning, right? There's no sauce on them, but they're seasoned. They're considered dry wings. There's no batter, right? Because they don't batter.
Like a dry wing then.
It's a dry wing. Lemon pepper wings would be considered a dry wing.
So all of us that eat lemon pepper wings and say we don't do dry wings, ask and just call us out because those are dry wings.
Well, the boneless ones must be different.
Because lemon pepper is dry.
No, that's what I had last night. I had the boneless, but they were crispy.
That's what I'm saying. Did they have batter on them?
Yes, Lord.
Okay, so those are
and
fried.
I got me some ranch. Oh shit.
Right. So if they have batter under the context of what we're talking about right now, if they're battered, then they're considered fried wings. Right. But if they're fried with no batter and then they're tossed in seasoning, that's considered dry. If they're fried and they're seasoned and then they're sauced, those are wet wings. If they're thrown on the grill, those are grilled wings.
Ashland Wings, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Yes. You could just call me Ash Wing.
Up next, we have Ash Wing with Ask Shop Talk.
Yeah. So coming up next is
Ash Wing. That was good. I'm quick on the draw now. Don't play with me.
You something. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna take one more quick commercial break after, Lord have mercy. After this commercial break, we are going to jump into today's Ash Wings.
Yes.
Anyway, let's take a quick look
at and Michi's Bingo. Mr. Bingo.
Yeah. We're going to take this quick commercial break. We'll be right back right after this. Hey, everyone. This is Demetrius Tollfree, station manager of your radio station, Freedom Radio. First of all, thank you for tuning in today. And did you know that we have an amazing array of shows that air weekly? Shows like Shop Talk, where no person or subject is off limits. The Indie Takeover Show with Jeremy Gibson. Better Together with Ashlyn Cole and Ja'Cory Prothro. Dito Live, where we are living in victory every day. High Tea with Bree with Sabrina and Dion. The Music Mix featuring Poncho and Keisha J. The Mix and Mingle Talk Show, just to name a few. Now, we want you to be in the know of everything that we have going on. To do so, find us on your favorite social media platform, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn. We use the same handle on them all, at Freedom Radio, FREEDEM Radio. Lastly, you'll need the Freedom Radio app. So if you have an iPhone or iPad, simply open the App Store, or if you're an Android user, open the Google Play Store and simply search Freedom Radio. We thank you for being a valued part of our continued listening audience, and remember to hashtag like, follow, and share at Freedom Radio.
Get into this freedom
Shoot.
music.
You know what? You send me that. I need to listen to that like every morning. That thing is really good.
That song is fire.
Welcome back to Shop Talk, where literally no person and no subject is off limits. Shout out to my guy, Ken Little, in the virtual building, hanging out with us as well, and so many more. I've been trying to keep up with everybody that chimes in. We really appreciate all of the listeners and followers that we have. You guys chime in through conversation and through chat, which helps make our job even a little more easier because you give us so much to talk about. Speaking of that, yes, sir, Jacory, you're on mute.
Oh my Lord. Just a shout out to Ken Little. He has a new single out, y'all. Let's support. And guess who's singing on it? The Deborah Henderson. I need y'all to check him out.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, I was on Clubhouse yesterday and going through, looking at people's bios and doing different things, that I do, being nosy, like only Deep Told can. And I've come to find out that somebody released another new single, and I hadn't heard anything about it.
I wonder who.
I didn't know that another single had been released.
What single?
You tell me.
What?
Which
I don't know
one?
what you're talking about.
You Are in Air. The Christmas
You Are in
song.
Air. I didn't know You Are.
Oh, my bad.
You Are royalty.
My bad. Yes, You Are in Air was released. I did a cover version. I did my own arrangement of You Are in Air, the amazing Donald Lawrence song, and it is available on all
iTunes.
Yeah,
It's actually really good.
It is. It is.
Yeah. I'm sure
Wait,
it is.
wait. Let's start this ship. What? Oh, I said ship.
She said
S-H-I-P.
ship.
Yeah, I didn't
Yeah.
know. I just happened to be listening or looking through people's bios and trying to get some energy to work on mine. And I noticed that. I'm like, I don't remember her telling me that she released another
Oh,
single.
my bad. It was, look, it was a single that I did for a conference. Dave Jackson and I did like real quick. We did it one day, and I just decided to release it. And I didn't do like an official release or anything like that. But my bad, it wasn't a secret.
Oh, okay.
Because here's the thing. I had two other singles, and so like to do another single release when one single is still, we're trying to build another single. Sometimes it can be distracting. So that's probably why I didn't say anything.
Okay. That's a conversation for another day. I definitely want to tap into your mind, into your thought process of all the different releases, but that's a conversation for another day. Could be a Clubhouse conversation. We'll find out.
Yeah.
But let's get ready to jump in. See, I did that? Yeah. I'm always thinking too. Let's get ready to jump into today's Ask Shop Talk. Now, I just want to say before I give it over to Ashlyn that the thoughts and opinions of Ask Shop Talk are not necessarily the thoughts and opinions of freedomradio.com. With that being said, Ashlyn, the virtual floor is now yours.
Yes, thank you so much. And shout out to Sabrina Robertson. She is the originator of Ask Shop Talk, and I am merely filling in her absence. Amen, somebody. So this week comes from a listener, and look, if you ever have an issue or a challenge that you want us to discuss here as the group, my hope, he was talking about Clubhouse. My hope is to take Shop Talk actually to Clubhouse and create a room called Shop Talk and have these discussions where people can actually raise their hand, come on stage, and give us their issue, their challenge, and we solve it for them right on the spot. So Dito, I'll let you run with that one. So this week it goes a little something like this. My husband was so I'm sorry, that's the wrong paragraph. My husband passed away a few years ago from melanoma. He was 26. He was sick for 3 years before his death. Even though I was somewhat prepared for his death, I was in a complete state of shock and could not function, let alone plan a funeral. My husband was so devoted to getting better that he would not speak of the possibility of dying. I wanted a simple funeral and cremation. His mother and stepmother wouldn't hear of it and, quote unquote, took care of the arrangements at a local funeral parlor. When I received the bill, it totaled over $20,000. I didn't ask for all that. So how do I reach out to his family to help pay this bill? My.
Wow.
Pick up the phone.
My.
Wow. So you know, wow.
Yeah, let me start by saying, first of all, we want to offer our condolences. He passed away at 26 years old. That is definitely too young in my book or any of our books. And so we want to offer our condolences to you. But yeah, let's start this discussion. If she, as his wife, she was the next of kin, the immediate next of kin, which is why she received the bill. I'm assuming she didn't want all the bells and whistles. She wanted it very simple. And when the family stepped in, they said they would take care of the arrangements. Obviously, they didn't mean financially. They meant that they would take care of the thought, the arrangements, but they wouldn't actually pay for it. So how should we approach this? This is heavy. This is a lot of money. $20,000.
I have a thought, and Jacory, you're right. Maybe what she should do is
Pick up the phone.
And then they'll hear somebody saying,
Somebody's calling you.
Do it again. Say,
Can you pick up the phone? 'Cause somebody's calling you.
Wow.
That's what needs to happen. They need to pick up that phone and make something happen, because I don't normally chime in first, but this right here, listen, first of all, that was a specific Dito ringtone that was made a few years ago.
I know you're gonna make me do the ringtone challenge again, because that was dope. We came up with some great ringtones, and I would love, we might have to do that for next week.
We did. I still have them all those ringtones that we made and we put in here. I still have them, so we can definitely have a conversation about that. But listening at this Ask Shop Talk and asking you play too much, I'm gonna just chime in and start with what Didi says. Didi says Jesus paid it all, and all to Him I owe. She's basically saying that sin has left a crimson stain, but you know what I'm saying, Jesus can wash them all away. 20 grand, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money for a funeral. And again, didn't sound like they was prepared for it. She definitely wasn't prepared for it. She's the wife. She's technically the next of kin. So really, regardless of, or is irregardless even a word? We've had this conversation.
No, it's not a word.
Okay, I'll take it out with my original. So regardless of what the mother and the family are trying to do, that wife is really the decision maker, unless it was said in some sort of will somewhere that she wouldn't be. But if not, that wife is the decision maker, and what she says go. And 20 grand, honey, no indeed. No indeed. As we get ready to go around the room, Shannon chimes in on YouTube and she says she needs to make a call, but I'm a bit confused how they were able to make arrangements and she get the bill. That is interesting. So,
well, and that's what we were saying about her being the next of kin. So when you lose a loved one, there is a point of contact, the initial point of contact, and that's the person that signs all the papers and does all that. And so they tend not to have several people involved because it can get very confusing. So typically it's one person, next of kin, or sometimes they give power of attorney to someone else and they have a designated person that will take care of all of the paperwork. But in this case, it sounds like she was, and they're young. I mean, he was 26. I imagine she might be somewhere around that same age. That's a lot to put on somebody. I was 26 when I had to plan my biological father's funeral, and I was not prepared for that. I had a lot of help. So I can only imagine if you're doing it by yourself. But yeah, I'm sure she signed the contract not knowing that the bill was going to be that amount.
Well, I mean, and Morgan asked that very question: who signed the agreement? Because whoever signs the agreement for the arrangements, they're the ones that's going to be financially responsible. So that's a great question to ask, Morgan. One that is not extracted from what we are seeing, but yeah. So it sounds like, from what I can gather out of it, maybe you could tell me this, Ashley, but the mother and the stepmother wouldn't hear of it, and they took care of the arrangement. So someone in there had to have signed for it, and maybe not her. I'm not sure. Azizi Law chimes in and she says that she has to authorize it before they do it. Great question as well. So, Ashton, this is your segment. You kind of take us through, tell me what you're thinking, and bring in these other great co-hosts.
That's really a good point. And I would almost venture to say that she might contact the funeral parlor and give me proof of the bill. Where is the initial contract and who signed the initial contract? Because she might actually have a case. Now that you all are bringing up all these points, these are wonderful, wonderful points. She might actually have a case to actually dispute the charges. Now that might actually be Ja'Cory, you shaking your head. What do you think about all this?
Well, I mean, the bad portion to me is you can actually spend even more than this with the funeral service. And my thing is, it's for us at that point. It's not about the deceased at that point. And you can have a beautiful service without spending this much money. But I know, and doing it for my brother when he was murdered, it was a hard situation because, when they die, you feel as though you got to do all of this stuff, and you feel as though maybe for some that it's going to bring that person back, and it doesn't. My thing was, I wanted my brother laid out. Yes, he was cremated, but I didn't realize that you spent all this money on this casket and it's going to be burned.
Yes.
So in those real moments, you need somebody that's smart around. You just really do. It needs to be discussed. You should not jump into those things because it can get outrageous. Flowers, all of that.
Oh, very, very expensive.
Programs.
Yeah. It's so
all
funny.
All of these pages. Everybody wants a magazine. That's all money. Right. There needs to be a budget in all things.
I literally asked the funeral home with my biological father, do you not have a pine box that you could put him in? Because he wanted to be cremated. I was like, could we just have a pine box? And we went with the least expensive casket, and I believe it was $3,500.
They're not cheap. Your last bed is not cheap.
No, that was the very last. That was the lowest priced casket.
You can't get them from Costco.
Well, some funeral parlors now. I know for my uncle, his kids actually, he wanted to be cremated. He had he literally wrote out everything. Had went to the funeral home.
What did he want? He brought a plot. What did he want done again? You said he wanted to be what?
He wanted to be cremated. He wanted to be cremated.
Cremated.
Cremation.
I know. I was wrong. I thought I was okay. I'm okay. Cremated.
Where's cremated?
That's what you said.
Right.
No, it's probably what it sounds like, but that's not what I said. I said cremated.
Okay. We'll rewind it back later.
It's okay. He wanted to be cremated, but they actually rented the casket. They didn't have to actually purchase
Rented.
one. The funeral home actually, yeah, they have caskets that they
You
actually
can
rent out
rent.
just for the funeral purpose. After the funeral is over, because we're not going to the burial site. It's a cremation after that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they actually rented the casket. We actually was a viewing because I actually was like, wait, when is the burial? They were like, they're cremating. And I was like, huh? We just saw the body in the. I'm like, wait, y'all paid for a casket?
Oh, that's such a
It's
good
like,
idea.
no, we just rent them.
Yeah. I've seen
No,
that.
that's such a good idea. So you actually would have a funeral with the body,
With
and then
they had a
the
it was
service,
a
and then after the service, then they would do the cremation. This
mhm.
does Thedra Parks know about this? Phaedra Parks, does Phaedra Parks know about this? Because this is Phaedra. Listen, Phaedra, look, you need to get on this. That's a money-making machine right there. Phaedra, I might want to go in halvesies.
Have
Wow.
Oh.
Renting the cat, that is cha-ching, ching, ching. That is like, wow. I am so impressed by that business plan. Wow. Okay. I'm sorry. Carry on.
They only pay. I think they pay like $500 to rent it for the service.
Oh,
Like
really?
it was literally it was a full service. Only thing was no like you did, escort and all that. Like as far as from the church, the body went from from the funeral home to the church and back to the funeral home, and they cremated or whatever they was doing
Wow.
after that. But yeah, they didn't have to pay for the casket. They just rented the casket for just that day. And it was a nice casket too. But I mean, it wasn't nothing like specialized to it. It was a standard but nice still casket. So, to everyone who didn't know, is looking like, wow, they put them together, put them away really, really nice.
Yeah. 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 Well, Todd McClain she says, yes, that's true. I did it to my brother. And she said that you can't tell the difference. I get it. And Chris Haynes, what's going on, little bro? He chimes in and says, rhythm caskets, rhythm spoons, Cole Brown. I feel you. And it's all to the good. I feel everybody with this. Now, I have to say, Yolanda, we haven't heard from you as of yet. What is your thought on today's Ask Shop Talk?
I'm full of be told. Like, I'm just not. I just think this is I'm serious. You know what? My mama taught me something. You don't have to talk all the time. Because this is a really sensitive subject and I dare not answer it incorrectly. I don't know if there's a right or wrong, but this is like a really sensitive subject because my personal opinion may not be a favorable opinion. But it won't, because I just think, what I'm learning about myself is that you have to. I had a conversation with my pastor, and I had some concerns, and my pastor said, well, okay, let me unpack all of that. And so I talked to my friend. He said, Yolanda, you just kind of unpack too much at one time, and you let it stack up and stack up and stack up and stack up. It's something I'm personally working on, and then you release it. So wisdom says you get some help.
Mm-hmm.
Mother's been pushing us to sit down. It's not easy to do, and just sit down and write out a will, write out this and that. Let me tell you something. It's not an easy thing to do. So while I by no means all condolences to this young lady, I think you just sometimes have to admit that you have to have those conversations that are very difficult to have. On a graphic side, it's a very uncomfortable thing for me. You can tell it's an uncomfortable conversation for me because death can be so much sometimes. And so doing obituaries can be a lot because everybody wants to be included. Everybody wants to feel a part. And I think what Jacoy said is so true. A lot of stuff we do it for them and they're not going to be here. And I'm not saying you should not honor people. You should pay that honor as hard and as much as you want. But sometimes this person wants to be in, you left this person out, no, they're not married to him, no, it just becomes very taxing. So I feel like really, maybe this kind of conversation brings us to a place where we just sit down and have those kind of conversations. Because sometimes you come in really hard and you want all these answers and I shouldn't have paid the $20,000 and I shouldn't have did this, but then that was her son. So she feels like this. Then that was his auntie. It's just a lot of going on at one time. Maybe the thing is just to sit down. Sit down and have a conversation.
It's good.
Because when you do that, if I can say, interject this here today, I was tardy. I called my auntie today. I was in a room last night on Clubhouse. We talked about legacy and stuff like that. And I called my auntie today. And I just started, auntie, I love you, man. I love the ground this lady walks on. Before I knew it, she shared some things with me that I had never known about my family. And it brought me to tears. It was a very healing moment. And in that moment, she said, you know what? It's Merry Christmas for both of us today. I didn't know you did this. I was so proud of you. I'm so proud of you, girl. What does that have to do with this? Had I not been willing to pick up the phone, that would have never happened today. I don't have any issues. So, the lady, be willing to pick up the phone, and while you're grieving, understand they were grieving too.
Yeah, definitely. That's good stuff. I love all of these great comments, and no, I'm glad that you didn't duck out and didn't share that, because these are the type of things that need to be shared. I know with Shop Talk we do a myriad of things. We go from hee ha ha to boo hoo crying and all different types of things. But when we bring these type of conversations to the platform, we want to hear every avenue that we can go down to be helpful to someone, to be able to offer, thoughts that will get them through what they're going through, and to be as helpful and as we possibly can. So I'm glad that you hung out. I'm glad that you shared that. That is great stuff. Tracy J. Wilson just chimed in, and she says she's writing her own obituary, and she's doing her own photo slideshow and leaving instructions for designated people. I'm not mad at you, Tracy. It's not a bad idea. That way that when you do it that way, you definitely know what is going to be presented to whoever comes to your service, and be able to make sure that things are done like you want them to be done. So I absolutely get it. All right, y'all. I am looking up at the clock, and it is time for us to get ready to go. I think that this conversation may ultimately pick up in some kind of way on Clubhouse. It may just happen. We will see what happens in the next few moments. But I'm certainly glad to everybody that hung out and chimed in today, and to make things happen. Dee Dee Felder, she is so, oh my God, she always makes me laugh.
Girl, I'm not coming. No, I'm just you better quit.
Yeah, maybe it's a Richmond thing with Dee Dee Felder. She is her and hilarious. But I'm grateful for everybody that hung out with us. Do me a favor, if you haven't done so, if you have an iPhone or an iPad, make sure that you subscribe, as it says on the bottom of the screen. Make sure that you subscribe to the Freedom Radio channel. There you'll be able to hear other shows from Shop Talk to Dito Live to Better Together, High Tea with Bree, Music Mix, and the Mix and Mingle Talk Show, all comprised in one place where you can go back and listen to the audio version of all of these different shows. It's time for us to get ready to go. But before we go, let's go around the room with closing comments and final thoughts. Demetrius, we will start with you, and let us know what closing comments, final thoughts do you have today?
God bless you all. Continue to be encouraged, be uplifted. Remember to go to my Facebook page so you can join in on the birthday game giveaway, cash prize giveaways, and giveaways beyond giveaways. And then you can also tune in still live and just enjoy the virtual birthday celebration hosted by, of course, one of our own, Yolanda Morant, and also my boy, Surfield from Surfield TV. So definitely we're going to have a great time. Again, the game room is it's only $7 to come in and play and join in to the celebration. You can still tune in on Facebook Live and just watch the birthday celebration as well. So it is a double experience. And again, everyone can enjoy. But if you want to participate and actually play the game, it's the only way you can play. But you can watch and see who wins. So God bless you all, and see you all next week. Same place, same time, same people station.
Good stuff, man. Appreciate you doing that, and glad to have had you hang out with us today. Yolanda Morant in Charlotte, North Carolina. Closing comments, final thoughts.
Have a good day. I don't have any wisdom from the country today. No, seriously, have a good day. It's the end of the year. It is what you make it. Please have a good day.
It's all good. Sound like you're having some connection issues over there on that end out in Charlotte. But again, we're glad to have had you hang out with us. It has been absolutely real. Jacory Prothro, closing comments, sir. Final thoughts.
I would just like to say, all of you that voted for me with DJ Preach and the MBA Awards, they are actually coming on the 1st, and I will be having a special live performance. So please look out for that flyer. And also remember that you do not live forever. Well, you live forever on the other side. Put it that way.
Yeah, I hear you. I'm not mad at it. Last but not least, Ashton Cole, closing comments, final thoughts.
I really want to encourage everybody to resolve 2020, right? So that's kind of been my theme all this week. Like, what can you do to look over 2020 and resolve it, right? Don't bring any junk from 2020 into 2021. I'm telling you, 2021 needs to be a clean slate. So take these next few days that you have here left of 2020 and resolve it. Resolve the disappointment. Resolve the setbacks. Accept that God gives you challenges to make you stronger. And if we are not stronger from 2020, I don't know what's going to make us stronger.
Most definitely. That's good stuff. I definitely appreciate all of that. I'm going to actually let that be our closing comment and final thought. Today has been absolutely amazing, and we look forward to doing this again next week in the new year. So if I don't get a chance to talk to you or text you between now and then, to all of our listeners as well as our co-hosts, I hope and pray that you have an amazing, happy, and prosperous new year. Again, those of you who may want to keep up with us and follow us on Clubhouse, we will be having a Freedom Radio conversation very, very soon on Clubhouse, and we want you to be a part of it. So on behalf of Yolanda Morant in Charlotte, Demetrius in Atlanta and New York, Jacory in Hercules, and Ashlyn in El Sobrante, my name is D. Toll. To the next time on this same Shop Talk Network at this same Shop Talk time, you know how we do it. I'll holla.